Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today some of our family friends came over all the way from California. So assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Fatima Suleiman. I'm 14 years old.
I'm Omar Suleiman. I am 9 years old.
I'm Maryam Suleiman and I'm 16 years old.
So interestingly now we have Maryam squared and Fatima squared. And look, you both are wearing purple and we're kind of wearing like black, right? Okay. So Fatima, you have a question? Ask them.
Yeah, do you like it here, and how is your experience here?
I can start. It's been going very well, alhamdulillah. At the beginning, I was very nervous and excited to meet both of you two hafidhs. And by staying here, I've seen how like your lives are completely surrounded, alhamdulillah, surrounding the Qur'an, and how you all come together to talk about religion. It's something you all uphold together. And I especially like how my Fatima, who shares the same name as me, even though at a very young age you still, alhamdulillah, memorize the whole Qur'an, and you do your prayers so nicely, you even your sunnah prayers, and it's so sweet to see all of you all together and learn from your knowledge and your experiences we're sharing with you.
Yeah. And also by seeing you guys, I also know that like I have so much more to learn and to like apply, that even you guys are already half that you're still learning, and so there's always like more to learn, more to apply every day.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much. Your answers are so sweet. You both are so, all three of you are so nice, and we really enjoyed spending time with you guys for the past like 3 days. Right. So, alhamdulillah. And Fatima, I know you're a hafiz as well, mashallah, and I'm so proud, and it's really amazing because I heard you like learned it yourself completely, right? So I wanted to ask you, like, what was your motivation to learn?
Well, from an early age, I feel like hifz and the concept of hifz and MaryamMasud were always connected together, because my earliest memories are my grandmother always used to watch both Maryam and Fatima, and she would always tell us about how, especially first Maryam and then later Fatima, so she would always say that she already memorized the Quran at age 9, and I would always have a competitive jealousy for wanting to memorize as much as her, but I never really felt that this was possible at first for me. And then in about 5th grade, I met some friends, and together we started to memorize together, and I was able to catch up to them. And then from then on, I decided that I could take on the whole Quran, inshallah. And I remember my dad was always telling me to be serious about the whole thing and encouraging me to do it, because if Maryam could do it, then so could I.
MashaAllah, that's such an inspiring story. And you know how you mentioned that competitive jealousy? You know, in Islam, there's actually some types of jealousy that are good, and the jealousy for the Quran is one of them. You know, having more knowledge about the Quran and wanting to memorize the Quran, that's a good type of jealousy. So mashallah, that's good. What about you? Are you memorizing?
Yeah, of course I'm memorizing the Quran.
Alhamdulillah. How much have you done so far?
Like 1.5 juz.
MashaAllah, that's amazing. And you want to become hafiz, right?
Yeah.
Inshallah. May Allah make it easy for you. And you too, Maryam?
Yeah.
Inshallah. That's great. So we'd love to hear your recitations. One of you can start. Fatima, you want to start?
Sure. I can try to say the first maybe 10 ayahs of Surah Al-Ankabut, inshallah. Correct me if I make any mistakes, and also give me some feedback. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين أم حسب الذين يعملون السيئات أن يسبقونا ساء ما يحكمون من كان يرجو لقاء الله فإن أجل الله لآت وهو السميع العليم ومن جاهد فإنما يجاهد لنفسه إن الله لغني عن العالمين.
MashaAllah, amazing recitation. I just want to say one thing that I noticed that you were doing was when you said Alif Lam and you were counting on your fingers. That's a really, really good thing that you do, MashaAllah. So that makes sure you're making sure that you're doing the med in the appropriate amount and it's not too much and it's not too little, which is really good. So that was one thing I noticed that you did amazing, MashaAllah. Good job. You want to recite, Omar?
Okay, so I might say some ayahs of Surah Ma'arij. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سأل سائل بعذاب واقع للكافرين ليس له دافع من الله ذي المعارج تعرج الملائكة والروح إليه في يوم كان مقداره 50,000 سنة فاصبر صبرا جميلا إنهم يرونه بعيدا ونراه قريبا يوم تكون السماء كالمهل وتكون الجبال كالعهن ولا يسأل حميم حميما يبصرونهم يود المجرم لو يفتدي من عذاب يومئذ ببنيه وصاحبته وأخيه وفصيلته التي تؤويه ومن في الأرض جميعا ثم ينجيه كلا إنها لظى نزاعة للشوى تدعو من أدبر وتولى وجمع فأوعى. That's all.
MashaAllah, amazing job. Very beautiful recitation. And Maryam, you want to go ahead?
Assalamu alaikum. So I'm going to say the first few ayah of Surah Al-Qadr, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حاميم تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم إن في السماوات والأرض لآيات للمؤمنين وفي خلقكم وما يبث من دابة آيات لقوم يوقنون واختلاف الليل والنهار وما أنزل الله من السماء من رزق فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وتصريف الرياح آيات لقوم يعقلون تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق فبأي حديث بعد الله وآياته يؤمنون ويل لكل أفاك أثيم يسمع آيات الله تتلى عليه ثم يصر مستكبرا كأن لم يسمعها فبشره بعذاب أليم.
MashaAllah, great job. All of you have very beautiful recitation, MashaAllah. That was really great, alhamdulillah.
What's all of you guys' favorite surahs?
I guess I don't really have a favorite surah, but let me think. I like
One of your favorites?
one of my favorites. I like Surah Al-Qasas because it talks about the journey of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, and in it there's that beautiful dua that he makes. So
That's
yeah.
a beautiful surah. What about you?
Well, you mean like the surah I memorized or like any surah in the Quran?
Any surah that you like.
Well, my favorite surah in the Quran I think would be Surah Al-Anbiya because it talks about a lot of prophets and the stories that I didn't know about before.
MashaAllah, that's amazing.
Out of the surah that I memorized, my favorite surah is Surah Al-Hadid because it starts with praising Allah and then it also talks about like the Day of Judgment and things like that from there.
MashaAllah.
So
Yeah, all of those are very beautiful, Sarah. Mine is Surah Yusuf because I really like the story of Prophet Yusuf, and since I know it well, I can understand a little bit of the meaning when I'm reciting it, so it makes it more I can connect to it more while I'm reciting it.
I like Surah Yusuf too.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you look at the tafsir or the meaning of the surah while you're memorizing or while you're reviewing it to help make it easier to memorize and also to understand deeper?
Well, when I was memorizing, I didn't focus on the tafsir that much because I feel like that's two things, and focusing on that much at once would probably make it a little bit harder. But in some cases, actually, it might help you because, for example, if there's an ayah, and you know how the endings of the ayah, the last words are sometimes hard to remember, maybe you can look at just the meaning of that last word so you can see it in context, and that will help you remember it for your memorization and reviewing. But now, as I'm reviewing, sometimes when I'm listening to it, and you know how on the YouTube thing the translation comes up automatically, I like reading it so I can know what I'm reciting, and it definitely helps create a stronger connection to know the tafsir and the meaning. So it's one of my goals to study the meaning in depth, inshallah. So yeah.
I have a question for both of you. Is do you have a schedule for which ayat or what surahs that you review and how long, and how do you manage that with your other responsibilities?
I try to do at least 2 pages to review every day. So I have this class at the end of the week on Sunday, so I do 8 pages. So if I do 2, and then I get to 8, and then I keep a few days to review the whole thing with my mom. And I don't keep a schedule. I do it just when I feel like I want to do it.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Omar, do you have any questions?
Okay, so my question is what are some challenges that you guys had while memorizing the Quran? Because I know memorizing the Quran at a small age is really hard. So what are some difficulties and challenges?
I think what the main thing that both me and Fatima probably faced was one getting you're losing your focus and wanting to go play and do other things, because at that age we're obviously young. So the way we overcame that is when my mom, she taught both me and Fatima, so she would make it fun for us. She would make it a game, so whenever we felt we were losing our focus or we didn't want to do it anymore, she'd say, okay, let's race and see who can memorize first, and then it would be more fun and we'd have a motivation to keep going and doing it. And also small gifts, whenever we reached milestones, that was also a good way to keep us motivated as well.
Do you have any final tips?
Well, keep going. And I know since you're older now and you have responsibilities with school and everything, even for reviewing too, myself, I also struggle with managing both at the same time. But just make sure you make the intention to do it as every single day, even if it's a small amount, just every single day, so you're consistent, and that inshallah will help you, and make God tell us to make it easy for you.
Before we made this video, we were playing a fun game.
Okay.